everyone. I want to share with you something that I am not about right now that's happening on social media. And it's been going on for some time, but I'm seeing it a lot more with the new year and people setting intentions and resolutions. So what I'm talking about or I'm referring to is the content out there that has to do with being high value. Like a high value woman does X, Y, or Z. A high value man doesn't do X, Y, or Z. I have a huge issue with this content, and not necessarily with the prescriptions that are given by these coaches and these influencers, but more so with this supposition that value is something that we earn rather than something that we all have. So the sun doesn't exit the solar system on a cloudy day. And similarly, I don't think that our value all of a sudden is diminished based off of what we do or don't do, right? I think it's something that we innately have. And like the sun, sometimes there are obstructions to us demonstrating that value in the world, but it doesn't mean that it's something that we earn or that we need to follow other people's rules or prescriptions for living in order to achieve or to attain high value. I want you to think about your personality as a prism. There are different colored faces of your personality. I like to think about our higher self, what I'll get into in a moment, as rays of sunlight, okay, that shine through our prisms so that we can reflect out each face's innate value to the world. So to circle back to all of this content on being high value, we don't need to do a sun dance in order to beckon sunlight into our lives, right? It's our birthright. It exists within the solar system that we are innately a part of. And similarly here, like you don't need to follow someone else's rules for living in order to achieve your highest and best goals in life. But we do need to figure out what's blocking the sunlight from shining into our inner world and allowing us to reflect our highest and best value into the world. So for those of you who think this is sounding a little bit woo-woo with higher self and expressing light out into the world, I want to add some sort of meat to what I'm talking about by providing some evidence-based practice research as well as neuroscience into the equation here to get you to really see the value in aligning with your higher self and addressing your blocks, which is really what this next rollout of videos is truly going to address and educate you on. In dialectical behavioral therapy, your higher self is referred to as wise mind. In Dick Schwartz's IFS therapy, which has become a leading modality in the treatment of trauma, and there is a lot of evidence-based practice, a lot of scientific backing to support the fact that this is evidence-based practice now. In IFS, there are all the different faces of your prism are called parts. And the purpose of IFS is to create internal space so that your higher self can assume a place of leadership in your inner world and is able to harmonize the various parts of you and align them with the highest and best for your life with regards to achieving goals and getting your needs met. And then we have Dr. Lisa Miller's work on the awakened brain at Columbia University. So she has done such cool research with regards to brain scans and being able to substantiate the fact that we have this higher level of consciousness and we can access this level of consciousness in various ways. So I want you to think about your brain as three sort of perceptual parts. I want you to imagine like a Venn diagram. On the left-hand side, you have your neurological pathways that, when fired, help you to achieve goals and help you to assert control over your environment. These are your achievement pathways, okay? And then on the right-hand side, you have your awakened awareness pathways. These are the pathways that, when fired, allow you to remain receptive, open to intelligent information that's unfolding in your here and now. So when we toggle back and forth between our awakened awareness and our achieving awareness, we create a third perceptual frame, which is the midway point in this Venn diagram. This is your questing awareness. So what Miller has found is through questing awareness states, we become open to life's possibilities. Our personal narrative dovetails with the narrative of life outside of ourselves. Okay, so inner and outer world start to merge and we become open and receptive to novel ideas, solutions, possibilities that unfold spontaneously in our here and now. I like to think about this questing awareness state as sort of the doorway to your higher self. This is how we align ourselves, again, with the source of intelligence that allows us to express our innate value that is already inside of us into the world. So with it being the new year and people looking to sources outside of themselves, a new workout routine or a new diet or a new career path, right? We're all looking for support. And I have no issue with us, sort of taking in outside information, right? The whole purpose of these videos that I'm doing right now is to give you content that's going to be helpful to you and that you can organize. But the point being, you get to organize the information. And what I hope for is that your higher self is really what's leading you to the content versus us deferring to these rules and prescriptions for living first before tapping into higher self, before creating space for higher self to really weigh in on what is best and what's a match for us. So in these next series of videos, I'm going to provide you with education on higher self. So how did we develop higher self? How did we develop the other parts of our psyche? So I'm gonna have like a longer series of videos that we're gonna call story time, and we'll get into sort of psychological development because I think that's gonna really help you and give some clarity and also to substantiate what I'm talking about here a little bit more. I'm gonna talk about what your blocks are to higher self. I'm also gonna give you one tool to help you to gain more awareness as to your internal blocks. And we're also going to discuss how we can start to differentiate higher self feedback from other sources of intelligent information, specifically survival intelligence or the intelligence that derives from your nervous system. So this is the content that I'm going to roll out this month. In the following month, I'm going to give you more tools to address specific blocks. But for now, it's going to be a lot of education. I hope you have fun with it. And I hope it really resonates with your higher self.